Now at 9, a 25-year-old cold case turns into legislation designed to prevent early release for convicted killers. Plus, Joplin is starting a new road construction project on 20th Street, how it's expected to minimize traffic and increase safety. Plus, some lawmakers in Kansas make a push to raise the state's minimum wage.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Oklahoma legislation named after two 16-year-old girls who've been missing now for 25 years advances in the House. This is KOAM News at 9 on Fox 14. I'm Tanya Bach. House Bill 1001, or Lauren Ashley's Law, would add accessory to murder in the first or second degree to the list of crimes that require an offender to serve at least 85% of their prison sentence. Laura Bible and Ashley Freeman were last seen on December 29, 1999, the night Ashley's parents were murdered and their home burnt to the ground in Welch, Oklahoma. The girls were kidnapped, tortured, raped, and strangled to death, but their bodies have never been found. Today's legislation is in response to the early release of the only living suspect in the case, Ronnie Busick, who in 2020 was sentenced to 10 years in prison, but because of good behavior and credit for time served during the court process, was released after just 3 years in prison, back into the area where he committed his crimes and where family members of the victims still live. Today, Representative Steve Bayshore presented the bill to the Judicial Civil Committee, where it passed 6-1.
We've been told once you're elected, don't get married to your bills, and because there's always a chance it may not be heard or it may not pass or may not be signed into law. Well, this one I am married to. This is something that's very important, not only to the Bible family and Freeman family, but to people of the state of Oklahoma.
Laura and Ashley's Law now goes to the Judiciary Oversight Committee that meets later this month. And later in the show, we hear from the district attorney who prosecuted Busick's case and Laura Bible's mother, who hasn't given up fighting for justice and looking for her daughter. Watch part 3 of my special report, Missing Still. Some Kansas lawmakers hope to raise the state's minimum wage. Democrats in both the House and Senate have introduced bills to raise the state's minimum wage from $7.25 an hour to $15 an hour. In a post to social media supporting the proposal, Kansas Governor Laura Kelly said, quote, "There's no reason workers in Kansas should make less than workers in our surrounding states." Federal investigators clear a Miami, Oklahoma police officer involved in the shooting death of a burglary suspect. Shooting happened on December 27th. Police were called to a disturbance at an apartment complex near C Southeast Street and First Avenue. That's where they encountered 49-year-old Jason Wilkins, who they say carried a large metal spike. Police say they told Wilkins to drop his weapon, but that he charged toward one of the officers. At least one officer fired a shot, and Wilkins later died at the hospital. The officer involved had been on administrative leave since the shooting, and now the U.S. Attorney's Office has determined the shooting as justified. Meteorologist Lindsay Gaffney joins us now with a first look at weather.
Well, temperatures today got up to 44 degrees just after midnight, but our low for the day was about 8:43. So we got a little bit warmer than 35 degrees, but we didn't get warmer than the mid 40s today. Now, current temperatures dropping down into the 30s. You can see winds are starting to shift out of the east. Those are going to continue as we head into Friday. Clear skies for the rest of the night, but those clouds roll back in as that warm front starts to push back in. Now, currently we're looking pretty good, at least for the next couple of hours, but as those winds will continue to shift, they pick up out of the east, gusting 25 to 30 miles per hour through the morning hours on Friday, and then up to 40 miles per hour, especially out in the southeast, through most of the day before starting to die down. Now, that front also is going to bring us some drizzle, some rainfall, and cooler temperatures, but I'm going to have a full forecast coming up.
All right, thanks, Lindsay. The city of Joplin kicks off a road widening project on 20th Street. The purpose of the project is to minimize traffic and increase safety. KOAM's Melissa Alexis explains.
A lot of people from Kansas drive into Joplin on 20th Street.
The city of Joplin will soon begin road work for the widening of 20th Street. In addition to widening 20th Street to a 3-lane road, they'll also be adding roundabouts.
It'll be improved from 4-way stops to roundabouts.
This includes the four-way stop at Country Club Road and the one at 20th and Central City Road.
Significant improvement in safety as well as handling the capacity during the peak times.
The city of Joplin will also be adding curbs and creating a shared use path for both bikes and pedestrians. The director of Public Works says one of the reasons behind it is pedestrian safety.
We do have pedestrian fatalities this last year, and we like to do everything we can to reduce that.
And he says current options for pedestrians on 20th Street are limited.
Along 20th Street, right now, you basically have the pavement and then it turns straight into a ditch. So having that ability for a pedestrian or a bicyclist to walk down that road, I think will add a lot to safety.
He says people who live near 20th Street will have no problems getting in or out of their homes due to the construction. And as for the businesses along 20th Street,
and we've already worked out with both of them how we're going to go about the process to interfere the least amount.
Preparation for the roadwork kicked off this week with Liberty Utilities moving power poles. The city recommends people use 32nd Street while 20th is closed for construction, which will officially begin at the end of March. Reporting in Joplin, Melissa Alexis, KOAM News.
And they're hoping to have the entire project complete by the summer of 2026. Well, coming up, celebration time in Nevada.
A local line dancing group from Nevada celebrates its 43rd anniversary. And guess what? You're invited. I'm Lonnie Walton. I'll have that story coming up.
But first, a local pageant title holder is using her platform to help children in Northeast Oklahoma. A woman from Miami, Oklahoma is making waves in pageantry and at New York Fashion Week this week, but her true focus is right here in the 4 states, advocating for children's safety. KOAM's Elise Noe had the chance to speak with her and learn her story.
Behind the gowns, the crown, and the spotlight, there's a young woman with a purpose. Anna Maria Thomas is using her pageant platform for something far more meaningful.
I feel very passionate about helping abused and neglected kids.
Anna Maria works at the Children's Advocacy Center in Ottawa County, helping neglected and abused children. She's combining her experience in advocacy with her pageant titles to bring awareness of child abuse to her community, something Children's Advocacy Center Director Leslie Bissell says is crucial.
Last year alone, I believe we saw 206 kids just in Ottawa County. So a lot of people, might think that we don't have many cases that come through here, but we actually do. That's a great number for our county. It's huge.
Because I'm in pageants, I'm in a very specific position to also be a child advocate. Because if I show up somewhere, a classroom or a daycare, even a community event, and I'm wearing like a sparkly sash and a sparkly tiara, they're going to want to come talk to me, and they're going to want to listen to what I have to say.
To expand her impact, Anna Maria created an initiative designed to educate and empower children.
She started this project. It's called the SAFE Project.
It stands for speak, advocate, facilitate, and educate. And speak, if you see something, say something. Advocate for one another. Advocate for the children in the community. They don't need to be your own. It can be any of them. Facilitate an environment where children feel that they can trust you and come to you if something is wrong. And then educate teachers, parents, caregivers, and the children themselves about the proper ways to go about body safety and consent when a child, 3. Unfortunately, they may be too young to understand, but that doesn't mean that's not happening to them.
The SAFE Project is just one way Anna Maria continues to inspire people in Ottawa County.
Anyone can go out there and set these goals and achieve it, even in a small town like this. And two completely different, I'm a child advocate and I work child abuse and sex crimes, but I also am model and I have pageants and I go to New York and I get to do all this stuff. There's no reason we can't have both. You can stand strongly and still say, I'm enough and I feel secure enough in myself that I can do both and still advocate for both and bring betterment to my community by using the platforms that have been given to me.
Anna Maria plans to bring the SAFE project to daycares and classrooms across Ottawa County. For more information, you can visit our website at koamnewsnow.com. Well, Lindsay is next with a complete look at your forecast, and later how a Joplin business is turning victories into refunds for its customers.
Well, it's been cold for the last couple of days. It's going to be cold. We're having that drizzle, the overcast, that continues. That we have a bit of a break tonight. Taking a look outside downtown Joplin from the Cornell Arts and Entertainment Complex. Clouds have started to clear a little bit earlier today, so we've got clear skies for the rest of the night, which isn't bad. It's going to keep us a little bit warmer tonight. Now, we do see rain chances starting to kick back up right around 7 a.m., and those continue through most of the day, though it's not heavy rain. It's just that drizzle, that overcast. So as we head into Friday morning, by about 7:30 a.m. Mostly this is just going to be that drizzle, maybe some sprinkles and that mist that we're going to see. Not a big disruption to your day, but still kind of just dreary and gross for most of the day tomorrow. Now, upper 30s to start off. That drizzle continues lightening up by early afternoon. So it's about 3 p.m. Temperatures getting up to the low 40s to mid 40s across the area. Then heavier rain starts to push in by Saturday morning, 6 a.m. So you can see winds have started to shift. We're now seeing that cold front start to push in Saturday morning. Following some of those showers, winds are going to be out of the north, dropping our temperatures even more as we head into Sunday. Now, after that, we're going to have a lot more going on. So taking a look at our temperature trend. Today we got up to low 40s to mid 40s, and that was earlier this morning. Most of the day, we're kind of bouncing around in the upper 30s and low 40s. Tomorrow, our high is only about 43. Saturday, a bit warmer for the day, even though that cold front comes through in the morning to early afternoon. Temperatures are still possibly going to reach low 50s, so it's not going to be too bad. And then clouds clear Saturday afternoon. Now, Sunday, temperatures drop back down due to that cold front on Saturday, and then heading into next week, we're going to start to see some possible snow chances. Now, this will kick off Monday early afternoon. Some of this rain starts to push in first, then we get that little snow, sleet, rain mix before all of the snow pushes in. So this is about 9 p.m. Some light flurries still continuing through most of the afternoon and into Tuesday as well. We'll have a break, and then another round comes through on Wednesday. Again, we're going to start off with a bit of that wintry mix with a little bit of snow if we do get it. Now, this whole system, we are still about less than a half a week away. So we're going to see this probably bounce up and or down, move a little further north, a little further south over the next couple of days. But if we do get any type of precipitation, it is going to have some minor road impacts just with the freezing overnight, a little bit of snow. So you could be getting prepared for that Monday, Tuesday, all the way through pretty much Thursday. And you can see those high temperatures for the day are going to remain rather cold as well. So freezing overnight with the rain chances, or if that does push a little further south, we could still see, a decent amount of snow. So got a lot going on next week. A little bit of a decent weekend. Super Bowl is not too bad, but prepare for that, the winter possible precipitation next week.
Yeah, in the meantime, it's just kind of drizzly gloomy out.
Yeah, a little bit. Not great.
We'll take it though. All right, thanks, Lindsay. The Mocan Square Dance Club from Nevada will be celebrating its 43rd anniversary tomorrow. This 51-member line dance group started in 1982, and they don't want to leave anyone out. KOAM's Lonnie Walton spoke with the leaders about the event.
I had a co-worker who was a dancer here and kept promoting it.
Karen Eber is the secretary for Mocan Square Dance Club, a group of friends and family that gather just to have fun. Eber says she found the group years ago and just couldn't let it go.
Down like to a club in Joplin and danced there, Springfield. When there were more clubs, we went to a lot of them.
Now, having fun was on Ebert's mind just like everyone else's, but another thing on their minds was, you guessed it, love. Just like club member Tom Harold.
That's how I met that lady there. We met square dancing right here.
And his now wife Grace Harold lost her hubby to cancer. She was out for a nice time and she needed a partner, so her friend pointed out her now husband.
There's that guy over there. Why don't you go ask him to dance? So I did, and we've been together ever since.
Eber was with the club when it started in 1982. He also was looking for some fun.
Separated at at the time, so I had to find a single person to dance with.
And that's not all this group is about. Harold says it's for everyone, even the youngsters.
There's no drinking, no alcohol allowed,
No drugs.
no drugs or any of that stuff. So you can bring your kids, there's nothing going to happen except fun.
That's it. We're family. That's all it is.
Reporting in Nevada, I'm Lonnie Walton, KOAM News.
The Mocan Square Dance Club meets the first and third Friday of each month at the Vernon County Fairgrounds in Nevada. Admission is $7. Well, coming up, football fans are starting to see lower ticket prices for Sunday's big game. Entertainment experts discuss how overall prices for Super Bowl 59 are lower than last year and why now may be the time to nab those last-minute seats. While they're still in the thousands of dollars, ticket costs for this year's Super Bowl are dramatically lower compared to last year. And now may be the time to nab those last-minute seats. Fox News' Ted Linder takes a closer look at the data from StubHub and what experts say is possibly influencing the surge in sales.
If you're considering going to Super Bowl 59 but haven't bought tickets yet,
as of Wednesday afternoon, the average ticket price sold is about $7,300 per ticket.
your window to grab lower prices may be closing. That's according to data and projections from experts at StubHub.
As you get closer to the game, certainly we expect demand to continue to pick up. We saw that last year in Las Vegas. Prices actually will go up as you get closer to the game. So right now is probably some of the best prices to get.
This comes as the seller reports the number of Super Bowl ticket sales on its site is up 12% from last year, citing how overall lower ticket prices have contributed to the demand.
We've actually seen ticket prices be about 16% more affordable when compared to last year in Las Vegas. There's actually 15,000 more tickets, which has led to being that get-in price where we see, as of Wednesday, hover just below $3,000.
And with the Philadelphia Eagles facing off against the Kansas City Chiefs for the second time in 3 years, here's a breakdown of sales among the fans as of Wednesday.
21% of our sales have come from the state of Philadelphia for the Eagles, and about 10% from Kansas and Missouri.
But once tickets are purchased, remember not to share your barcodes on social media so no one can take a screen grab and steal your seats. Meanwhile, as fans continue flocking in from out of town, data from travel booking platform Skiplagged reports Saturday will be the cheapest day to fly from Kansas City to New Orleans. Eagles fans in Philly can find the lowest flights Sunday morning. Ted Linder, Fox News.
It's been a fun Chiefs season for shoppers at Wayside Furniture in Joplin. The owner has been giving refunds based on Chiefs wins and by how many points. In December, more than 140 customers got refunds for Christmas after the Chiefs beat the Steelers by more than 12 points. Now, ahead of the Super Bowl, he made the same deal, but the Chiefs have to win by 14 or more.
I think it's great for the community. I really do, and I know I was telling someone I know we stimulated the economy from Christmas to New Year's because that's when it hit, and I know a lot of people went out to eat.
Well, the offer runs through Saturday. Well, coming up, we take you to Family Fun Night hosted by Pittsburgh State alumni. Pittsburgh State Alumni and Constituent Relations hosted this evening's Family Fun Night. The gathering welcomed everyone to enjoy a little fun before the Gorillas hit the court. Your admission ticket not only got you into the games, but also included dinner and access to a special area for kids. Plus, there was a chance to win 2 bicycles. The women's game tipped off at 5:30, followed by the men's at 7:30. 30 more minutes of news, weather, and sports is coming your way. There's a cold case 25 years in the making. The Laura Bible and Ashley Freeman may finally get justice with legislation designed to keep killers like theirs behind bars. And lawmakers are pushing to ban a Chinese AI chatbot from government devices over national security concerns. Why DeepSeek's technology has officials on alert.
You're watching the 4 States Most Watched News.
This is KOAM News at 9 on Fox 14. I'm Tanya Bach. It's been 25 years since Laura Bible and Ashley Freeman went missing. Their mother, Lorraine, hasn't given up the fight for justice and is still holding out hope the girls will be found. In part 3 of my special report, Missing Still, we investigate how the girls may have the final word through new legislation.
You can profess to be a Christian all you want, but if you don't walk it and you don't do it every day, I guarantee you that man didn't ask for nothing before he died.
Lorraine Bible referring to Phil Welch, one of 3 men who investigators believe in 1999 murdered Danny and Kathy Freeman, burned their home to the ground, and kidnapped the 2 16-year-old girls, Ashley Freeman and Lorraine's daughter, Laura. More than 15 years later, OSBI agent Tammy Ferrari and DA investigator Gary Stansel helped Craig County District Attorney Matt Ballard build a case against Phil Welch, David Pennington, and Ronnie Busick. Witness interviews connected all 3 to the case and revealed the girls were tied up in Phil Welch's trailer in Pitcher, Oklahoma for days, where they were raped and tortured. The only problem, both Welch and Pennington were dead.
It's frustrating that we're not able to go after the people that were really should have been held accountable for it.
But they did have Busick, who was living in Wichita when he was finally arrested in 2018.
He told me that he was at the Freemans the night it happened, but he personally didn't kill anybody. I personally didn't set fire to anything, and I personally didn't kidnap or take those girls off that property. But you sat in that car and you drove out of there in that car. Did you do anything to get those girls help? No.
Facing 7 counts of murder, arson, and kidnapping, in 2020, Busick agreed to a 10-year prison sentence, pleading guilty to the lesser charge of accessory to murder on one condition.
Part of the plea agreement was he cooperated with investigators, and our hope was that we would be able to find them.
All this was dug up. All this was dug. I mean, we went down probably 6 foot.
After a number of dig sites throughout Pitcher turned up empty, Busick offered up one last hope.
And we had high hopes on that, but come to find out that cellar, there was nothing underneath there. So it's almost like someone was going to build a cellar, but we hit virgin soil right off the bat. So there was nothing underneath there.
3 years into his sentence, Busick was released for good behavior and credit for time served during the court process.
I mean, granted, it took us 2 years to do the court system because of the COVID stuff, but, but he was in and out. He got to go in and out. So he's able to get out, walk around, and do whatever he wants.
Frustrated, Lorraine reached out to State Representative Steve Bayshore, who called the state attorney general.
Is there any way we can keep this person behind bars? And unfortunately, the way the sentence was issued or adjudicated, there was not. That's very, very troubling. Good behavior, good physical appearance, took a shower, brushed teeth, things that normal people do on a normal basis and don't get extra credit for.
So Bayshore's office took the next step, filing a bill named Laura and Ashley's Law. It adds accessory to murder in the first degree and accessory to murder in the second degree to the list of felony offenses Oklahoma already requires convicted criminals to serve at least 85% of their sentence.
It's really simple. It's that easy. You're sentenced to 100 years, serve 85%. Sentenced to 1 year, serve 85%. But there is no eligibility for early release.
Ballard says Laura and Ashley's Law will bring a sense of certainty to families that the Freeman and Bibles did not get.
We hate when an offender comes in and gets a sentence that we believe is appropriate and then walks out, at a fraction of the amount of time that he was given.
For once, let's start looking at the victims and the impact it has on victims rather than just the perpetrators.
And I wouldn't want any other family to have to search for 16, 17, 18 years, find somebody to get them to put away, and then they turn around and be out walking around doing whatever they want. I wouldn't want that for any other person.
Today, Representative Bayshore presented Laura and Ashley's Law to the Judicial Civil Committee, where it passed 6-1. It now goes to the Judiciary Oversight Committee, which meets later this month. Well, 2 U.S. lawmakers are trying to ban government workers from using Chinese startup DeepSeek's artificial intelligence chatbot on official devices. Republican Congressman Darren LaHood and Democratic Congressman Josh Gottheimer are set to propose legislation Friday to ban DeepSeek on government devices over national security concerns. DeepSeek's new advanced AI model, called R1, has the same capabilities as top American models. The model is also cheaper to train and less power hungry. It has fueled concerns that the U.S. could fall behind China in AI. Well, Lindsay is next with a complete look at your forecast. And later, an exchange student who is learning about broadcasting in Joplin wants to use the skills she's gaining when she returns to her home country.
Well, we've been dealing with the dreary weather, kind of gross, kind of cold. Let's go ahead and take a look outside. Downtown Joplin from the Cornell Arts and Entertainment Complex. The clouds did clear, so we had a decent afternoon. Once those clouds cleared today, it was still pretty chilly, but finally got to see the sunshine. Now, unfortunately, it's not long-lived. Although clouds stay mostly out of the area tonight, we are going to start to see clouds move back in just after midnight, along with rain showers kicking up right after 7 a.m. And that's just going to be these light drizzle. So let's look at that future track. We have a warm front coming through, which is what brings those clouds back into the area, which is what brings this drizzle, sprinkles, overcast, just kind of like a mist that we've been seeing for the last couple of days. That's what we're going to see on Friday as well. Now, temperatures are starting off in the upper 30s across the area by 7 a.m. That drizzle continues, just like more scattered in nature as we head into Friday afternoon. Now, winds are going to start to shift as we head into Friday evening out of the southwest and then out of the north. Now, when the winds really start to get out of the north, we're going to start to see some rain showers pushing in. Light showers, not heavy or anything, but a little heavier than the drizzle that we've been seeing all day on Friday. This is coming in Saturday morning across the area. That's going to continue again for another couple of hours, 9:30, 10 a.m., starting clear out. Temperature is reaching the low 50s, and then clouds are going to start to push out of the area by Saturday afternoon. Now, temperatures Saturday again, it's going to be the only warmer day that we're going to see over our next couple of days, even the next week or so. Today we got up to the mid to lower 40s, and that was a little earlier in the day. Tomorrow, low 40s. Saturday could reach just briefly in that low to mid 50s range, and then Sunday, due to that cold front on Saturday, we're dropping back down to the low 40s. Now, following Sunday, heading into Monday, we're going to start to see our snow chances pop back up again starting Monday afternoon. So it's about 9 p.m. A little bit of heavy snow, a little bit of that rain sleet mix starting off. Could switch over to just snow as we head into the overnight hours because those temperatures are going to drop. However, this system tends to follow a little bit further north, so we could just see rain in the area, or we could see that just wintry mix. Now we have a break before we head into Wednesday morning. Another little round of snow and winter mix kind of pushes into the area. And yet again, we're a little under a week away from this system, so a lot could change with that. But we are seeing a couple of rounds of snow continuing all the way through Thursday. Now, even if we don't get a lot of snow, we could still see that refreezing at night. So we definitely are expecting some minor road impacts, not a huge threat as we head into next week, but still definitely be aware of what we could expect throughout Monday all the way till Thursday, because those temperatures are going to be cold enough to see something, if not snow, then that freezing overnight. But until then, Saturday, a little bit warmer, but some morning sprinkles. Super Bowl Sunday, mostly just cloudy, so it won't be too bad, but definitely chillier.
Yeah, 42, Super Bowl Sunday, February, sounds about right.
There you go.
All right, thanks, Lindsay. Well, starting high school for the first time can be scary, but McDonald County Schools is trying to help make the transition seamless. Today, nearly 250 8th grade students from across the district toured McDonald County High School. The experience is designed to help incoming freshmen learn more about the academic, extracurricular, and social opportunities available to them.
And they get an opportunity to see the classes that we offer. One of my favorite parts about 8th grade tours is they actually get to talk with our athletic director, have a little Q&A question and answer session with him to find out about our athletic program. They get to spend the whole day here.
Students were also able to visit classrooms and meet with teachers and other staff, so the high school will seem a bit more familiar. Well, coming up in sports, Pittsburgh State women's basketball tries to remain undefeated at home. Plus, a top 10 battle between Labette County and Fort Scott girls basketball. John Dales has those stories and more up next in sports.
Tonight, two of the top girls high school basketball teams in our area square off. Fort Scott, the 8th ranked team in Class 4A, goes on the road to Labette County, who's ranked 5th in Class 4A. Fort Scott travels to Labette County for a big-time 4A matchup, and the first points of this one belong to Allie Brown. She drains the triple to give the Lady Tigers a 3-0 lead, but Labette County stays aggressive early on. Aubrey Boss puts one off the glass and in for 2 points. Then the Grizzlies go inside the paint to Jaden Davis. She turns around and knocks down the hook shot. We head to the second half now, and Fort Scott starts to separate. The freshman, Lorelei Clark, drains the corner three, then off a missed layup, J.C. Rogers with the rebound, puts it back in, count the bucket plus the foul. Final minutes of this one, Claire McElroy gets a steal and goes all the way the other way, finishes the layup. Fort Scott wins a big one on the road. Lady Tigers beat 5th-ranked Labette County 53-44. Over to the boys' game. It's another big battle in the SEK. Fort Scott squares off with Labette County. First quarter, Labette tries a three but misses. However, Colton Weil is there for the rebound and the putback. A few minutes later, Keegan Bates drains a mid-range jumper. That's a tough one, and he's very fired up about that. Grizzlies lead by 3. Fort Scott would keep it close all night. Kanan Brown makes a tough shot underneath the basket. Next possession, Dub Chipman drives in the paint, and that one rattles in. But Labette County gets a momentum shift. Paxton Leisure knocks down the long three-pointer from the top of the key. Then 4 seconds left till the end of the quarter. Here's Leisure draining another three. Labette County fired up, and the Grizzlies take down Fort Scott 47-44, the final score. The Pittsburgh State men's and women's basketball are at home tonight. Amanda David's squad comes into this evening with a 10-game winning streak. 6th-ranked Pittsburgh State undefeated on its home floor and riding a 10-game winning streak, taking on Emporia State, who's 4-8 in conference play. But the Hornets make things difficult for PSU. Late third quarter, Gorillas up by 2. Janiyah Alvarez with some space, and she finishes. That ties the game. Then after PSU jumps back in front next possession, that layup ties it again. At the buzzer of the third quarter, though, Grace Pyle hits a three, and the Gorillas have a 3-point lead going into the fourth quarter. That's where they'd really start to get some separation. Macy Mays goes to her left hand, finishes the layup plus the foul. The El Dorado Springs product leads all scorers with 20 points. Then just over 4 minutes left, Macy James is nothing but net from beyond the arc. That puts the finishing touches on an 11th consecutive victory. Gorillas outscore Emporia 27-9 in the fourth quarter. They win at 82-61.
We just kind of talked in the locker room. I mean, we started to be more positive with one another. That's our thing, like constantly picking people up, and we got some things going. It's easy to pick people up, especially in the fourth when we needed it. So just kind of got some things to fall. Everybody started flowing together.
Now to the men's game. 11-9 Pitt State hosts 7-14 Emporia State. This one starts horribly for the Gorillas. Just under 3 minutes in, Emporia up 6-0. Chris Harris drains a three from the corner, and Jeff Boschee has to take a timeout to keep things from slipping away, but things don't get much better immediately after. Gorillas down 12. Jordan Fryson's shot blocked, coming down the other way. Nobody stops Armand Lewis, and he drains a three-pointer. The lead grows to 15. Plenty of game left, though. Tane Prichter down low, first shot no good, gets his own board, gets fouled, and he scores. Deficit trimmed to 10 points. A couple minutes later, Avery Taggart. Nice move here on the baseline, and he finished his reverse layup. Strong second half propels Pitt State to a victory. Gorillas win at 85-79. Over in Joplin, Missouri Southern women's basketball dominates Newman 77-40. Lions improve to 15-9 on the season. The Missouri Southern men win as well, 85-69 over Newman. MSSU junior Jaden Taylor leads the way offensively with 26 points. And Super Bowl 59 features a rematch not only between the Chiefs and the Eagles, but between Patrick Mahomes and Jalen Hurts. And here's a reason to feel confident in KC. In Super Bowl rematches where each team has the same starting quarterback, results have always gone the same way they did the first time in the second game. Terry Bradshaw's Steelers beat Roger Staubach and the Cowboys twice in the late 70s. Then Troy Aikman and the Cowboys beat the Bills and Jim Kelly twice in the 90s. Most recently, Eli Manning and the Giants defeated the Tom Brady-led Patriots 2 times. That's it for sports. We're back after this.
The Joplin Eagles television program at Joplin High School, better known as Jet HD, prides itself on teaching students the ins and outs of broadcasting. Now, one foreign exchange student in the program is from Tajikistan, a nation in Central Asia bordering China. She's taken the opportunity to pursue her dream of becoming a news anchor in her home country, starting at the student news desk. KOAM's Samantha Walker has her story.
I'm from a beautiful country of Tajikistan, full of mountains, rivers.
For Shiloh, or as her friends call her Shay, Joplin is afar, 7,000 miles away from home. But for the foreign exchange student, this is a dream come true.
Many people, they don't know about my country. That's the reason why I'm here in the United States. To share my culture, my history, my country, people.
Now she's working to better herself through her favorite subject.
I really like to improve my speaking skills, like communication skills. And I feel like this broadcasting class improves it a lot.
As part of her school's broadcast program, Shay is learning all about the world of journalism, something she hopes to make into a career.
I want to be a journalist in my home country, but speaking in English. If I talk in Tajik language and share the story in Tajik language, I grab 10 million people's attention who lives in Tajikistan. If I speak in English, I make many people can watch me.
Her teacher, Brad Douglas, says her determination to make this dream a reality is clear.
I only have her for a brief time, so I only have her for half a semester. So I'm cramming like 2 years of TV production and broadcasting, and she's picking it up right away. She's like a sponge.
Welcome to GHS Weekly. I'm Shahli Smoilova.
And I'm Alexander Ruprecht.
Shay has officially taken to the anchor desk, a dream she's always had.
Speaking in front of the camera and not using my native language, but English. I was so proud of myself because I made it. I came to in USA and started experiencing what I want to.
And despite the thousands of miles between them, her family is cheering her on.
I was an anchor here. They were so proud of me. My mother, she was so happy. Oh, your dreams are coming true. You're doing what you wanted to do. I'm so happy for you.
Reporting in Joplin, Samantha Walker, KOAM News.
And Shay will return home at the end of the school year. Her teacher says he'll teach her as much as he can about the world of broadcasting before she leaves. Well, coming up, Starbucks is offering free coffee the day after the Super Bowl to rewards members. A Seattle-based coffee chain offers free coffee following Super Bowl 59. Starbucks will offer rewards members free coffee on Monday. The reward can be applied prior to placing an order and works for 1 free tall, hot, or iced coffee. Customers who are not already rewards members can get the deal if they sign up before midnight on Sunday. That's our time for tonight. Thank you for joining us. We're going to leave you with video of Fiona the hippo picking her Super Bowl winner at the Cincinnati Zoo. Have a great night and an even better tomorrow.